One of the best kept Egyptian secrets is how to stop ankle and feet swelling, and it is the watermelon. Now, before you just say, oh, it's a watermelon, it has some amazing health properties. It can lower inflammation and can increase the nitric oxide in your body. If there is a swelling, such as ankles or any other swelling, means there's inflammation in the body. So you have to lower this inflammation in order to get better. Another thing to remember is, where does this liquid come from? The liquid in your swelling of your ankles? Well, it's actually coming out of your blood vessels. Now, what are we going to combine watermelon with is very important, because it's how you mix the ingredients together. And we're going to use basil. Now, the ancient Egyptians used to use mint, which is in the same family as basil. However, when you look at the health benefits of basil and what actually it combines, it also lowers the inflammation. And I'm not going to go into chemistry and biochemistry, but it really works very well synergistically with a watermelon. And this is what you want. You actually want to combine the ingredients that help each other. Now, when I say it's good for you, it doesn't mean that you should go and sit and eat the entire watermelon in one day, because it's just going to raise your sugar, and that's not good either for your swelling of the ankles. So here I'm combining it with the yogurt, and this is good enough. The quantity that you see here is good enough for a whole day. You don't need to eat more. It is truly delicious, especially when it's cold, and very, very refreshing. Now I have here the Greek yogurt, but you can use coconut yogurt as well. Another way to enjoy health benefits is to make a smoothie. So still add the basil. You can use fresh one as well. So I had here the semi-dried, which feels good for about a week and a half in a fridge. You can use fresh. You can even use completely dry. You just alter the quantities depending of what you're using. So I'm here going to put it in a blender and just blend it so it has enough liquid in it that you don't need to add any additional water. If your blender is struggling, you can add a liquid of your choice. And of course you can add ice. But I do want to show you one more way you can use it. So here I'm going to put a half a cup of water in a pot. Now we only want half a cup because we'll add additional watermelon. I'm actually going to make a jelly out of it. So I'm using agar-agar. You can use gelatin if you want to, but I'm using agar-agar, and this is just a really inexpensive one from the Asian stores. And I'm going to use a whole teaspoon because we will add additional watermelon liquid, so about another half a cup. So when you're using agar-agar, it's very important to completely dissolve it in a cold water or a cold liquid. Otherwise, it will just clump and it will not be great. So here I've just dissolved it. And once it's fully dissolved, I'm going to turn on the stove. You bring it to the boil, and it needs to boil for 1 minute. So just, if you see it's clumping again, just quickly mix it. And here it's boiling. So as I mentioned, 1 minute boiling. Just you may need to mix a little bit more here, and then just leave it. The agar-agar should be completely clear. And now we'll add the watermelon with basil and just quickly mix it in. It will start to gel very quickly. You don't need a long process to gel. So I just took it off the stove, and now I'm just going to pour it into nice vessels. Now this is an optional step, but I do like to pour it into easy pour, otherwise it makes so much mess. Now you have to work quickly because this does start to gel very, very quickly. And I'm going to use this pretty flower ice molds. You can use anything you like, even just a normal bowl, which I'll show you at the end. So these jellies should last at least 10 days in the fridge, but I wouldn't go more than 2 weeks, even if you have some leftovers, just because you start to lose the ingredients. And this is just in a normal bowl. It will gel perfectly. As you can see, it's almost gelling now. So now I generally put it in the fridge because we live in Australia and everything is hot. You can see, so this is just from standing. You can see how firm it already is. Now I will put it in the fridge for about an hour, and this is how it looks when it's completely gelled. And you just take them out. Now you can, this is just so I'm showing you, you can leave them in a mold for a while, or you can just take them all out in a store in a container. It is truly what you like. And normally I would put 2 per serving, even 3. There's no strict rule, but I wouldn't go with more than 3 per serving. And you look how pretty they look. So certainly makes you really want to eat them. And they're quite firm. Excuse my dropping everywhere. And as you can see, completely gelled. They're quite delicious. I really like them. So this is just a way of preserving extra watermelon, but certainly you can use fresh. Fresh is probably the best. But if you have more and you want to store, this is a really easy and pretty way to eat watermelon and still get all the benefits. Just don't forget to add the basil, because that is what makes it super special. And you can serve it with a yogurt, dairy or non-dairy as well. It makes quite a pretty morning tea. If you would like more information on how to stop ankle and feet swelling, go to Cat Has No Cankles, and I'll put the link in the description as well. Enjoy!